How's it going, everybody? I'm coming at you today with a life story, and before I get into it, I just want to address the footage that is actually on in the background. Yes, I am surfing in CS:GO, and yes, there are plenty of massive channels that surf while commentating, such as Leafy, Luna, blah blah blah. And no, I'm not content stealing. I'm not another clone. I'm just testing out what's good for this channel, and most probably I will have different gameplay for each life story I do. So I'm just testing this out as this is the first life story I'm uploading to this channel. So let's get straight into this. This life story is about how I started smoking and the first cigarette I ever had. So this must have been back in about 2012, around March, Aprilish, and it's gonna sound really pathetic, but me being about 13 years old, there's that whole like stigma around weed and smoking it and shit. So I was just like, oh, this seems pretty cool. I was really into reggae at the time and everything like that. So I wanted to try weed. So I was like, okay, but I couldn't get my hands on it because at the time no one actually smoked weed that I knew. So I was watching videos on it and shit and how people enjoyed doing it and how they smoked it. But obviously I couldn't get weed and I was quite young. So what I actually ended up doing is my parents have been smoking since they were about, 17, 16ish. So I just decided one day to put some tobacco in a homemade bong because I'm an idiot. And I was like, okay, maybe this would be similar to weed. Yeah, and I know you're all going to be like, oh, he's a fucking retard. Yeah, I was pretty retarded back then because I thought tobacco would like emulate some of the effects of weed. So I made this little like homemade bong out of a water bottle and, made a bowl for it, put some tin foil in it and shit, and got a pinch of tobacco. And then prior to this, I'd literally like promised myself that I would never smoke ever in my life because at the time I thought it was quite disgusting that my parents did it. And I just didn't like people that smoked because I'd grew up around smokers and I just didn't really, like the whole smoking thing. But yeah, anyways, so I packed this bowl full of tobacco and I was like, okay, let's do this. So I light it up. I take out the bowl once, drawing in the tobacco, and I coughed to shit. And I don't think I've ever been so lightheaded in my entire life. I was coughing all over the place. I was like, oh, this is absolutely disgusting. How can anyone do this? And then, after that lightheadedness had like sunk in a bit, I was like, oh, this actually feels alright. So I actually ended up doing it a few more times, and then that led to sort of doing it like almost every night, and it was very, very stupid of me. Don't do this at home because honestly, smoking tobacco out of a bong like that is just so stupid. Honestly, I do not recommend it, and I don't recommend smoking to anyone at all. But if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it anyway. So a few nights later, I think maybe a few weeks, I basically decided, okay, well, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna take some tobacco and it's gonna go into some rolling paper and I'm gonna put a filter in it. That's how you roll a fag. And I was like, okay, shit, let's smoke this. And obviously, I'd promised myself that I'm not gonna do it, but yeah, I ended up getting quite addicted to it quite quickly, and I would be smoking quite a few fags every day, and that's how I really got into it. So don't go out and do that shit, please. Just fucking don't smoke because it's a horrible addiction, and about 5 years later, I'm still doing it. So yeah, there you go. So this is the first life story, and I just want to thank you guys for watching, and peace out, everybody.